Hi everyone, I'm JD, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I filmed this video of all the materials that I used to make one of my paper bag journals for this Make a Junk Journal With Me series, and then this morning I realised that I didn't upload it on my computer to YouTube and I deleted it from my camera. So I've just got up and I'm going to film this, so sorry if my voice is a bit croaky. I'm not really a morning person. So in less than an hour I'll be getting on a plane to Melbourne, so we'll just see how we go in this video. Basically, hopefully this video will show you everything you'll need, and then you have this time to source these materials, and hopefully you've got them all in your home or just in your normal craft supply stash. If not, scour the op shops or craft shops, or also newsagents. I like going to newsagents too for my supplies. So basically, in the series I'll be sharing them in 3 stages, hopefully 3 videos, and I'll be making the cover, then getting the pages ready, and then doing the binding. So I'll share what you need for the materials in each of those stages. So for the cover, obviously the first thing you'll need is definitely the paper bag. So it's just the normal brown paper lunch bags, and if you don't have the exact same bags, it's totally fine. Just whatever paper bag you have, the size doesn't matter really, because it's the same principle and same method that we're going to use to make the journal. If you did want the exact same one and you can't get it though, I do have the option that I can put it in my Etsy shop for you and send it to you in packs. So just let me know if you would like that as an option. I can do that from Melbourne, and then hopefully you can get it in time for when the Make the Junk Journal With Me series goes up. Then the last thing, sorry, I've done this video so many times, I'm probably going to be skipping around, but scissors. Most craft projects need scissors, and then a ruler. I also use a, what is it? It's called a pacer, so it looks like a pen, but it's actually a grey lead. And I like these things because you just click it down and you never have to sharpen the pencil. So you can use whatever pen, pencil, just something to mark the page. I use craft glue, so you need some type of glue, but you don't need the exact same one. Just whatever you have, or the only thing is I wouldn't recommend a glue stick. You can definitely use a glue stick if that's all you have, but just you want to get it perfectly on the page when you're sticking the cover on, because there's not any leeway with it. With this you can kind of mold it and move it if you need to. I also use double-sided tape. You don't need both of these things. You could just use one or the other, but the method that I like to use uses both, and I'll show you why when we get to the making the cover. And if you have this already in your stash, awesome. If you absolutely want to just follow along and do the exact same thing, feel free to get that too. So this is another optional item, washi tape, to reinforce the spine of the journal, but you definitely don't need it, because I've made plenty of paper bag junk journals without the washi tape, and it's completely fine. But this just adds a decorative layer, and maybe just an extra layer of strength, I suppose. But again, not needed. This is a really wide washi tape. You don't need wide washi tape. It's from Washi Wednesday, called Seaweed, and I'm just using it because it will go with these blue papers that I've pulled out for a blue themed journal. But if you want washi tape, just choose one that will go with whatever theme you're choosing. If it's eclectic theme, then it really doesn't matter what you choose, and you can just use a narrow washi tape if you want. But completely optional. If you don't have it, you don't need it. Then the last thing you need would be the page to use as a cover. So obviously I would use something that speaks to me, that is beautiful to me, and is interesting. Like some papers wouldn't work as a cover, although any paper could work as a cover. You could always layer it up, collage it, add lace, fabric, bling to it. But for this, what we're going to do is this most basic, simple journal we can make to show just how quick and easy it is. So I would choose an A4 sheet. That's going to work well with the size we're using, and I would choose something that can stand alone on its own, so that you don't have to do anything to it, and you've got a cover right there ready made. And that's why I'm using my printable digital artworks, and they have a range of ones that come with a nice cover, so I just pick and choose whatever ones that I like as a cover. But if you don't have one of my digital kits or don't want to get one, that is totally fine, because you can use any A4 decorative paper. So this is just some that I've been hoarding that I will be turning into a cover one day. So pretty, it's glittery. And then I've got some other ones here just to show you what you could use. So just pattern papers. You can also use scrapbook paper, 12 by 12. I often use scrapbook papers for covers of my journals. You just cut it down the same way, and all you basically need is a page you like that is big enough to cover your paper bag. You can, hang on, let me just grab, sorry, journal. You can do something where you have one picture on the front and one picture on the back rather than a wraparound picture. It's a little bit more work, but seriously not much work, not much more work. So if there's a book page you like or an image you like and you want it to fit just this side here and then get another image and put it on the back, you can definitely do that. You just cut it down a little differently, but if you want to follow along with this one exactly, then go for the A4 sized paper, because that's just going to be easiest and simplest, and we're going for the easiest, simplest method in this series. Alright, so if you want to grab more than one cover, do that, because I've got 10 in the go that I'll be making, and you can just make multiple journals if you want as well. Alright, so that's everything for the cover, and then for the pages, I do have this method, and again, you don't have to use the exact same method, but this is just something that helps me. It's quick and it's easy, and I just fall back on it and rely on it and trust this method. And yes, showing my niece, seeing her make 4 journals, and she used the exact same method that I did, and just seeing her gather her pages the same way I did, it just was like, kind of confirmation that I've got a method and I can trust it, and it is teachable, I suppose. Not that anything about this is difficult. I'll just share exactly what I do though. So I use 25 pages because it gives you a round number of 50 altogether when you fold them, which gives you 100 front and back. So perfect. I think that's a perfect size for a journal. With my Japanese diary one, I'm loving that size. And yeah, I'll go into more detail about all of this kind of stuff and the thought processes and how to do everything when I get to those videos. But basically I break everything down into proportions. So of the 25 pages, I want at least 7 decorative pages. So that's why, again, I'm using my art digital printables, because there's so many to choose from to use as pages. But yeah, 7 will do. You can have more, maybe not less, maybe not fewer, but you could do more, definitely. But you want at least 7 decorative ones, or 7 that go with your cover theme or the theme of your journal, or just something to pull it together decorative wise. And if it's eclectic, then you don't really need to worry about pulling it together as a theme, and any decorative page will do. And you don't even need decorative, but if you want like anything that I'm suggesting, you could totally just use something completely different. All you need is 25 pages, whatever 25 pages you have. But I then use, so if I have 7 decorative, I kind of go at a ratio. For every 1 decorative, I want 2 writing filler pages. So I would use just normal copy paper, printer paper. I've coffee dyed all of these, so I'll be using this. It's all prepared in advance for me. So just normal copy paper, and then I love using all different types of lined grid graph papers, and you can get these in op shops sometimes, or I just go to the newsagent. You can get them really cheap there, and I'll go through the books and just find maybe 4 that are different, even 3, like 1 grid, 1 graph and 1 lined paper. And there's your variety. Add it with your plain, and you've got 4 different types of papers that straight away is your writing space, but also gives that interest and variety to a junk journal. So go ahead, and if you want, go find some of those pages. You can, there's really cool ones, like some have red lines, some have wide lines, narrow lines, big grid, small grid, so there's some great range out there. And also I like using A4 coloured copy paper. So for example, with this blue journal that I'll be making, I'll use some blue copy paper. And if you're doing like an eclectic journal, you could just use all different colours of paper. Again, you don't need this. You could use one or the other as your filler pages. If you're doing eclectic, you could just use any pages you want. And then, so let's say I have 7 decorative pages, 14 filler pages, that gives me 21 pages together, and I need to make up 4 more. And I generally will always use a doily, some sort of glassine bag or paper bag. If you don't have a paper bag or glassine bag like that, you can always use an envelope. And because these are easily accessible, you know, junk mail, you get return envelopes, and you can fold it over as a page, and you get the same pockets that you would, the same kind of thing as a paper bag. So definitely that is an option there. You can use both of those if you want. And then I would also use a page from my vintage dictionary that I have, and I know not everyone would have that, but if you go to op shops, you may be able to find something, or any other book page that you like. And I also use a page of music paper. Again, you might not have that. Op shops are good to look for that too. Online maybe, but again, you really don't need that. If you only have this filler paper, that's fine. Just use 25 pages of that or whatever's around. Other options might be, if you have some old notebooks lying around, I just pull out the pages of my notebooks. Like if I have a notebook and 10 pages at the back I haven't filled in yet because I went on to the next journal, I'll just rip out those 10 pages, and there's nice pages from a notebook, because you can get some cool ones like blank pages, even some with pictures on it. And this one is letter writing paper. And again, you might be able to find that from an op shop. You may have some in your own stash, but just some ideas of different size papers as well, different looks to the papers. The other thing is, it can be all different sizes. So once we have our filler pages, we can cut that down to make smaller sizes, narrower, shorter. We can fold them into pockets and flaps and things, so that even though you've got quite a lot of filler pages that may all look the same, the way we're going to put them in the journal will look different and give that variety. So we'll go through all of that when we get to the pages video. But basically, yeah, go around, look around, and grab your 25 pages. That's all you need. If you want to make multiple journals, then of course go nuts and just collect what I've got, like a stack of one type, a stack of coloured, a stack of music paper. Book pages are also a good idea too. So I just got an example here. I won't be using, I don't think, book pages in my journals. I've already got the themes pretty much sorted with what I'm going to do with them. But just an example, you can find some really pretty illustrations in children's books and things, and I'll be using these in my gnome journals actually. So yeah, go source these things, whatever you like. If you're going to do eclectic, I mean, you can use junk mail, you can use anything. I think it would be a fun challenge to make a junk mail junk journal. Maybe we could do that together one day too. So that's the pages, and basically, yeah, I just put them all in the categories, in the piles, and then I pull from each pile to make the journal, but we'll go through all that later on. Finally, the binding stage, and everything I need for the binding is in this basket, which is pretty cool. You need an awl, and yeah, I was kind of intimidated by this, but now I swear by it. It's just the most essential tool. I love it. I got this from the cheap shop. All of this I just got from the cheap shop, so it's really affordable. I know you can get this one at Spotlight too, but it's kind of narrower, it's red, and I find that it's a bit harder to get through the papers because it's so narrow. Also, I love blue, so I just really like this one and how it works. And then you kind of need, if I can find, yeah, there it is, my needle. So you want something that is a bit thicker or wider than a normal needle, and something with a relatively big eye to fit through. We're going to use embroidery thread. I love embroidery thread, but here's one I got from Spotlight as well. So this was from the cheap shop, and I love it. And these are spares I've just got from Spotlight, and they work just fine too. They're a bit shorter, which is fine, a bit blunter, still wide, and they've got the large eye. You don't want too big an eye though, because you don't want it to rip through the like rip a giant hole in your page when you're binding. And then I use embroidery thread, and again from the cheap shop. I do have some wax linen thread too that was sent in some Happy Mail, and I really like wax linen thread. I just find it a little bit stiff compared to like the embroidery thread, which is just so easy to work with, and I love it with the beautiful colours as well. I think you can get wax linen threaded colours too, but I will keep experimenting with like wax linen thread. But for now, I really just love the embroidery thread, and I've got all my different colours here for different journals. And then the last thing is I use, what are these? Long or large bobby pins. And this is to keep the pages in place while you're binding, because they can move about and get out of alignment. You can use though bulldog clips or paper clips. I suggest something though with a long reach, so that's why I've got the longer bobby pins, because some of your pages are just going to be shorter and you want to grip as many of the pages together so they don't move. So grab something like this. Again, you don't essentially need it for this particular journal probably. You could get away with not using it, but if you want them nicely lined up and just an easier process all around, definitely use these. You'd only need 2, maybe 4 at the most. But I generally only use 2 for this kind of journal. Yeah, so that's all the materials. And if you have any questions or need any help with any of this, or suggestions about where to get things or other options if you don't have the same stuff, let me know and we can see what we can do. I was also playing around with this idea last year actually about putting together a bookbinding kit, so I can source all these materials and get them myself and put together kits with an awl, a needle, embroidery thread and some bobby pins. And if that was going to be helpful to anyone, just do let me know and I can put that up in my shop, because I just know how intimidated I was and how I was procrastinating about getting one of these and learning how to bookbind. And if it helps for me to just get all the things, and that will motivate you to actually try it, because my aim is to just, I love junk journals, and I think I want to spread it with everyone and see everyone make them. And if you want to make them, then I don't want anything to stop you, like getting materials or bookbinding. I feel like bookbinding is really intimidating a lot of people, because I know it intimidated me. But it's so easy, and I hope this series shows that. And once you do it the first time, you're laughing, because you can then make so many journals from then on. So yeah, if you are interested, let me know. I can put together a kit, and I can even pair it maybe with a junk journal kit, so with a paper bag and a cover page and some decorative pages and all the pages that you'd need for a journal. I could even make one with my own digital kits, like one kit does make one journal, or I could do an eclectic mix or a themed mix. I don't know. If that's going to be helpful, just let me know. My aim, again, like I said, is just to help people get creating a junk journal, especially first timers, and especially those people who may be a little scared of making their first journal. So if you have all the materials just together, ready to go, hopefully, like, I'm just thinking that might be that motivation to finally try it. And then you've got these videos when they go up, and they'll always be there that you can follow along with it. So there's no excuse to not try it. Making a journal is really easy and fun, and once you start, I reckon you'll just be hooked like I am. And I love that they're beautiful, they're useful once you've made it, and then yeah, you can also gift it or use it yourself. I mean, it's just junk journals. I love junk journals so much. Cool. Alright, so I hope I've explained everything okay and haven't missed anything, but if I have missed anything or you're unclear, just do comment and I will always read those and comment. It may take me a while to comment, but I always will get back to you. And then, yeah, I will be on a plane soon to Melbourne, and I'll be still around interacting with you guys on YouTube. So, and I can send away those paper bags and even get together these kits if anyone is interested, and send those off too. Yeah, and I'll be keeping an eye on my Etsy and everything. Don't forget there's that buy one get one free with my digital kits at the moment, just for you guys who are my subscribers and want to follow along with this journey. You just let me know when you place your order that you would like your free kit, and which one you would like. And yeah, when I get back in 2 weeks, hopefully I'll have a new camera holder, and my first priority will be to film this Make a Junk Journal series with me. Make a Junk Journal with me series. And I'm so excited. Lots of you have said that you're keen and that you're going to follow along. I'm a bit nervous because I didn't expect so many people to say they'd follow along, and I really hope it is helpful, and I guess I just got to trust my method. My niece, I saw her take it up so well, and I trust that you will take it up as easily too. So thanks guys for watching. I'm so excited, and I'll try to film a few videos while I'm in Melbourne with some haul videos and maybe make some journals, and then I'll be back and I'll see you then too. So thanks guys. Bye!